Jenny again. I just want to talk to you about feeding your pets once they have diabetes. So with dogs and diabetes, you have to give the insulin every 12 hours. And the reason is because after 12 hours, the insulin runs out because they're not making any more or their body's not using it. So you have to give another dose. So with dogs, we take them down to 2 meals a day, breakfast and dinner, and there should not be anything that is fed to them in between. And this is harder with parents than it is with dogs. Dogs actually adjust to this fine. It's the parents that have a harder time. If you're used to giving your dog treats after they go potty and you're used to giving them food from your plate and things like that, those are all things that you are not going to be able to do once they become diabetic. What I tell people is if your dog is a treat dog, after you give the injection, give them a treat right away, because you're pairing, if they don't like the needle and they are bothered by it, now you're pairing something positive with the insulin injection. So they can have 2 little treats a day after each injection. That will make sure they have enough insulin to cover those things. If you feed your dog all throughout the day, they won't have enough insulin to cover all of the food that you're giving them. And so then they will be very hard to regulate. And we want to get our animals regulated as best we can. And so with dogs, there's no food in between. With cats, cats a lot of times are grazers, and we know this. And so what my cat parents often do is give some canned food in the morning so that they know that their pet has eaten, and then they give the injection. And some pet parents do leave a small amount of dry food out for them to graze during the day. This is doctor specific. Some doctors want you to do 2 meals with cats. Other doctors say it's okay to graze. If grazing can be a very important part of a cat's emotional happiness and well-being. If you take everything away, it can make them very stressed, and that can make their blood sugar go up. And so we want to avoid that. So talk to your vet if you are a cat parent and your cat becomes diabetic, and see what it is that they would recommend for you. As far as food, there are special diabetic foods for cats and dogs. With cats, the high protein, low carb diet is typically what they recommend. With dogs, it's high fiber. The higher the fiber, the better the insulin is absorbed for the dog. So in the beginning though, what I usually say is you can take some samples of diabetic foods home. You can also regulate your animal on what they're eating now, because our goal, we want them to eat. If they don't eat, they can't get their insulin. So especially with cats who are very sensitive, if you switch their food right away, it can throw them off, especially if they don't like the new food that you're trying to introduce. So sometimes it's better to wait on the diabetic food and just get them regulated on what they're currently eating, their regular dog or cat food. And then just talk to your vet. If you're having trouble regulating your pet, then you can start talking about gradually switching their diet to a more diabetic friendly food, and that may be helpful in helping to manage the disease.